Mir continues to be with us. Also, Sunil getting us the very latest on that. Sunil, in fact, concerns being voiced not just for the first instance, but several in the past concerning the Poonch area, where intelligence failure is a big concern here.
Absolutely, Sneha. Last time when I spoke to Dr. S.P. Vaid, former Director General of J&K Police, and in that exclusive conversation, he had clearly said that, there seems to be, lack of intelligence, or what he exactly said is that there is poor intelligence, and the security establishment needs to, work on this particular issue, because we cannot keep losing precious lives of
Right.
our, personnel. In the last 2 years, there have been increase in terror activities in the south of Pir Panjal region, in both Rajouri and Poonch district, and that's why we have seen number of terror attacks taking place. We have even lost some of our brave army commanders, paratroopers, and even personnel from J&K police. So it's a matter of huge concern. There was change in strategy as far as security forces are concerned, but as per the security establishment, even while we are talking right now, Sneha, there is presence of terrorists in the south of Pir Panjal region. And in the earlier, statement that was made by a senior army, commander, he had clearly said that there is presence of about 15 to 20 terrorists reaches in Rajouri and Poonch districts. And most of these terrorists are Pakistanis. They are highly trained, and some of them are even former, Pakistani army personnel. So it's a matter of huge concern. This is worrisome. These are highly trained Pakistani terrorists, and they are taking advantage of the geography of the region, of the terrain of the region, because this entire stretch is surrounded by, dense forests, and at times visibility is also very low. So these terrorists are, ambushing the security forces, and this has happened
Right.
on a number of occasions in last 2 years. And then they flee deep inside the jungle. There are natural hideouts. There are, natural caves which are used as hideouts by these terrorists. And there are certain, local overground workers of these terrorists who provide them logistics support. And that is why they are able to sustain for a long time in this
Exactly.
particular region. And now this latest, terror attack that has taken place is definitely going to, cause a lot of worry in the security establishment, because there was some lull for some time. But there were reports coming in continuously that there was movement of terrorists in these two districts of Rajouri and Poonch. And
In fact, we
yesterday
are
only,
getting our viewers these latest pictures that have just come in of the manner in which the search operation is now being conducted. The vehicle that came under attack has been secured, and right now, search and cordon of operations continue in this particular area, where security checks are being carried out. These are pictures also of the vehicle that came under attack. Remember, we are talking about at least 4 military personnel who've received, who've suffered injuries, and they've been airlifted to Udhampur. Mir, a quick word from you on, if at all we know, on how these Jawans are doing at this point in time.
Well, I can tell you that sources tell us that they have been airlifted to best army medical facility in Udhampur, where they are under the knife right now. They're being operated upon.
Okay. Sanjay Kulkarni, well-known defense expert, is also now joining us. Thank you for your time. Terrible news this evening of this attack that has taken place. We understand that the search operation is underway, but as always, concerns that there is intelligence failure whenever it comes to the Poonch region. And also talk to us, sir, a little about how the tactics of the terrorists have changed essentially in the last couple of months or so.
It's indeed sad, because after a long time such a thing has happened there, because there was a lot of vigilance being kept in that area of Surankote. And that's one place where you find invariably these attacks take place, because there are a lot of these overground workers who assist and who are observing what activities are taking place, how are the vehicles moving, what interval are they moving, where do they rest, how do they do what they are doing, and then they target them and try and ambush them. And it is rather very unfortunate. I have no doubt that, of course, the coordinate search laid by the Rashtriya Rifles will yield results, and all of them will be knocked off. But the fact that these kind of things are happening there is definitely a cause of concern. And we really need to be very, very vigilant. We need to have our eyes and ears, because until and unless there are a whole lot of the overground workers logistically sustained by the locals over there, It's not possible. It's just not possible. And we know that the border is not very far from there. And this area of Poonch is always been under these kind of activities. So we have to be very careful. And I feel very sad. Of course, all of them will recover now that they have been moved to Udhampur, which is a huge command hospital. So that would not be a major problem. But it is sad that such an incident has occurred when we know that it's been happening over there. And that is where we really need to be careful that we don't allow but the only thing is, as I said, there are quite a lot of overground workers over there who are still in doing it. And at a point of time when in India elections are taking place, sensitivity is there and the vigilance is very, very high. And despite that, if they're able to do it, I think we really need to ensure that we do not at any point of time violate the SOPs. And that is very, very important. And vigilance, total area to be dominated, ensuring that the vehicles on which they are passing through are being observed, and at no point of time they must be allowed to be ambushed or fired upon like this by anybody.
Well, absolutely. You voiced these concerns earlier as well, Lieutenant General, on how Rajouri and Poonch really have become the hotbeds now in this region. Thanking you for the moment for joining us. We are still waiting, in fact, to hear from my colleagues on how the Jawans are doing at this point in time. Military personnel, at least 4 of them have been injured in this attack. Search and cordon off operation currently underway. The local Rashtriya Rifles unit has started this work. The vehicles have been secured inside the airbase. I understand in the general area near Shah Sitar, military personnel have suffered injuries. They've been airlifted. Mir, you were telling us about how they are doing at this point in time. If you have an update, please.
Well, we've been told that they have reached the Udhampur military facility. Now they have the best medical facility as far as battle wound injuries are concerned. So they are with the best people, and right now they are under the knife. And in some time we'll get more update about them. But 4 have been injured, as you rightly said. And talking of the larger picture, obviously the heat has been shifted from Kashmir to the Jammu side.
True.
Various reasons for that. One important reason, obviously, after Article 370 abrogation, the kind of no holds bar assault that has been launched by the security agencies, supported by the ED and all other agencies together have choked several things as far as the terror infrastructure or the juggernaut is concerned. And that obviously has led to a tactical shift as far as these militant organizations are concerned. They have moved to Poonch Rajouri. Another important reason for that is that the security forces there aren't as battle-hardened, as well-oiled as their counterparts in Kashmir. That obviously has a lot to do with the fact that for the last 30 years, they have been doing operations in Kashmir. And that is also one reason that they have been successful in carrying out these operations and then slipping deep into the jungle area. Now, as one of our colleagues said, nicely really explained the kind of topography, the kind of jungle cover, and the kind of ample opportunity these people have to hide deep inside the forest area. So all these things really are coming together and making the anti-terror operations difficult. But right now, they're trying their best to locate them, track them down. And in that,
that's right. Mir getting us up to speed with those details. I'm going to thank you for the moment, Mir, Sunil and Gaurav, putting that story into perspective.